Dear Dad, it's been 15 years since you left us. A lot has changed, but I think I'd be making you proud. A degree from SC State and USC Law. You would love my wife, Jill, and I represent our community in the State House. But now I'm doing something bigger, running for Senate to continue fighting for our community, creating opportunities and protecting the rights of those who need a voice. Because, Dad, that's the world you taught me to believe in.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime. Geno Jones Showtime. I come to you live Monday through Friday. I mean, unless it's a holiday like Monday. Last Monday, this Monday just passed, it was Memorial Day. On my normal days and start times are Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago right now, where my guest is, 3:30 out on the West Coast. Subscribe, share, screen grab, rip some of the video, make it go viral. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. The Geno Jones Show is brought to you by CM Transportation. If your business needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, not on CP time, but on time, CM Transportation, you can check them out online, www.cm like Mary, cmtransportationllc.net, cmtransportationllc.net, or you can call them. They're based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Shout out to the CEO, Carissa Carter, black woman-owned business. She has one of the top transportation companies in America. Give them a call. Tell them you were watching the Geno Jones Show and you need a transportation company for your business that you can depend on, that you can rely on, that is not on CP time, but on time. It's 843 area code 606-2702, 843 area code 606-2702. My guest returning to the show, full disclosure, for all 3+ years, he's been one of the official wardrobe consultants and stylists for the Geno Jones Show. Of course, the blazer you see me rocking today, and so many days, the leather shirts you see me rocking and everything else. Bruce Gage, Miglio Di Mario Uomo, and he is also the founder of Flyball. It is an officially licensed company, officially licensed by the Negro Baseball League to basically to sell sweaters and other gear. As a matter of fact, you get to see all that coming up. We're going to talk about the Negro Baseball League, some big news, some great news happened about a century too late. But I'm going to talk about that shortly. And Bruce is also, along with being one of the top retailers when it comes to style and clothing and fashions, one of the top retailers in the world for the last nearly 4 decades. He is also a historian of the Negro Baseball League. So excited to have him on the show today. Let me jump off the show today, shouting out all of my Geminis celebrating a birthday. Reebie and Janet's. Well, actually, Reebie and LaToya. So these are Janet's older sisters. Reebie is the oldest. Reebie Jackson, she had like one hit. She was a one-hit wonder, but it was a hit. Centipede. Remember? Centipede. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Centipede. So Reebie Jackson, Maureen, that's her as they say, government name. Maureen, Reebie Jackson, 74 today, and LaToya Jackson, 68 today. Two sisters born on the exact same days, 6 years apart. Amazing, right? Laverne Cox, if you were a fan of the Netflix show Orange is the New Black, she plays Sophia. Laverne Cox is 52 today. Old school rapper Keith Murray, the most beautiful thing in the world. Remember that? Keith Murray is the big nickel today, 50, the big nickel. And Carmelo Anthony won a championship when he played at Syracuse. He was there 1 year with Syracuse University. His team won the March Madness NCAA College Men's Basketball Championship, played in the NBA. He balled out. He played in Denver, and he played with the Knicks for a while. Three-time gold medalist with USA Basketball. First, he was a bronze medalist, and then he played on 4 USA basketball teams. The first year, him and LeBron were young boys, and they got beat. I think it was Spain, but they fixed that. Then LeBron and Kobe and Carmelo and all the crew came with him. So he has 3 gold medals, 1 bronze medal in USA Basketball. Carmelo Anthony is the big quattro today, the big quattro, 40. So happy birthday to all my Geminis. Once again, shout out to my sister. I'm the oldest and the only boy. So we've got the middle child and the baby girl. So the middle child, my sister, Nanette Chambers, AKA Head. We had nicknames, and I would tease her, call her Head, like long head. She didn't have a long head, but when you kids and brothers and sisters, you all clown each other and call each other names affectionately. So happy birthday, Nanette. I love you, sweetie. I just hope and pray that you love yourself as much as I love you, and all of us love you. We really do, because you got a beautiful spirit. Just bet on yourself and believe in yourself. That's all you got to do. As hard as it is, I get it, but just love yourself as much as your big brother loves you, because you know how much I love you. So we have 159 days until Election Day, and I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to bang this like Sheila E. playing drums for Prince. 159 days until Election Day. You are not choosing. This is not a personality contest. It's not a beauty contest. It's not who you love. It's not who you like. It's not who you wish he was. You are choosing, especially to black people and people of color and women of all races, because they've already come for women. You got 16 states with an abortion ban. Here in South Carolina, 6-week abortion ban. Most women don't even know they're pregnant 6 weeks in. Some women don't even have a regular menstrual cycle like that. They may go 4 weeks, they may go 6 weeks. I know this because I was raised in a house full of women, all right? You are choosing between your freedom and your oppression. You're not choosing perfect, you're choosing between freedom and a person, President Biden, and a party that believes in equality, equity, that believes in freedom, that wants you to have expanded civil rights, that want to protect your civil rights and your voting rights and women's reproductive rights, and make sure that everybody can make a decent living, and that wants to, cancel student loan debt and somehow get the rents in control, a lot of that, and just make sure that working class women and families can start getting those child tax credits that they got 3 years ago, until the Republicans got into Congress, where you were getting $250, $300 a month per child. Y'all forgot about that. That money came in real handy, and the only reason it stopped, because because there's no longer a Republican Party, it is a cult. The MAGA cult took over the House of Representatives. So please understand, you are choosing between people that want to expand your freedoms and rights and make sure that you can retire with dignity, and that your children will be able to afford college, and they will be able to afford this, and stop the price gouging with these CEOs and companies. There's a reason why. Now they'll say the marketplace, but I'm gonna let you in on the truth. It's not an accident. There's a reason the CEOs of all these major grocery chains were jacking up grocery prices, and why you had a lot of these, they call them, I'll just say Wall Street barons, executives, venture fund capitalists, billionaires that had these, these financial companies where they could go up and buy up a bunch of homes and buy apartment buildings, and then jack up the rents and make it hard for people to afford to buy the homes. It wasn't an accident. It's intentional, Because these are the same people that support the cult, the MAGA cult. So you have to understand you're choosing between your freedom and your oppression. You're choosing between a party that wants to expand your freedoms and a cult that has said that they will militarize the cult leader, the wannabe dictator on day one, who says he will militarize local police. He will send the National Guard and the Marines and the Army and our military into cities like Chicago and Detroit and New York and Newark and Atlanta and Dallas and Houston and Los Angeles and Tulsa. When people are having a peaceful protest, he's going to end that because he said that he wants to send in the military to shoot peaceful protesters. Am I making that up about Orange Hitler? No, because he's already said it. And if you watch this show, you know it. Just Google former Defense Secretary Mark Esper, when Orange Hitler, when you had the George Floyd protest, and they protested in Washington, D.C., and they painted Black Lives Matter on some of the downtown streets. And the jackass went out in front of a church and was holding the Bible upside down and backwards. And he sicked the National Guard on peaceful protesters. And Trump asked Mark Esper, his defense secretary, can't we just shoot them? Who said publicly, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Just read Google Project 2025. Get rid of the Department of Education. So that means public schools will be gone. So if you can't afford to send your child to a private school, well, then they'll change the laws to where companies can start hiring kids at 11 and 12 years old. So what do you think is going to happen if the cult gets control of the Department of Education and they get rid of the Department of Education, which will end public schools as we know it? They get rid of the Department of Justice to where you won't be able to file any kind of civil rights complaints. As a matter of fact, they want to change the laws to where if you accuse a racist of being racist, that you can be sued for accusing a racist of being racist. These are not my opinions. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. This is in black and white. Just Google and download Project 2025. So virtually every day, you're going to get a couple minutes of your choice. 2024. Your choice. Freedom or democracy. These people are not playing with you. So don't F around to find out. So I want to bring on my guest. You heard me mention, if you were watching at the beginning of the show, my guest, one of the top retailers, clothier, when it comes to just retail clothes, not just clothing, shoes, men, women. He is one of the top, he is one of the leaders in the fashion industry and the retail industry, and has been for nearly 4 decades. I've had the honor to know this brother. We were both young bucks in our 20s, and his uncle introduced him to the fashion game, and he's still relevant nearly 4 decades later. He is also a historian of the Negro Baseball League, the Negro Leagues. You had the Negro National League and the Negro American League, the Negro League Baseball. As a matter of fact, the Major League Baseball, they finally got something right. Took them a century. Today they officially announced that now virtually all of the Major League, all of the Negro League statistics, home runs and batting average, they will be included as part of the official statistics of Major League Baseball. Because Major League, from 1920 to 1948, basically, the Negro League was formed because Major League Baseball did not and was not going to have black and Afro-Latino brothers in the major leagues. As a matter of fact, they had one of the most racist people in the history of America, the commissioner, Kennesaw Mountain Landis. That's a hell of a name. Just Google Kennesaw Mountain Landis. He was the commissioner of baseball during that era, the 20s, I think all the way up until the 40s, who said on multiple occasions that a Negro, and he didn't use Negro, he used the other N-word, would never play in the major leagues as long as he was a commissioner, which is why it took until 1947 for Jackie Robinson to integrate baseball in the National League with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And then I think like a week later, maybe a month later, Larry Dolby was the first African American to integrate the American League, the white American League, with the Cleveland Indians. So Major League Baseball finally doing something right, going to recognize and honor the statistics. So if you're a big baseball fan and you want to see Babe Ruth, you'll see Josh Gibson, who's now is the career leader in batting average and so many. I'm not going to bore you with the stats. I'm not going to turn this into Sports Center, ESPN, but I could. But my guest, along with being one of the top fashion retailers and business owners in the world for the last 3.5, nearly 4 decades, like he is a baseball historian, and he is officially licensed by the Negro Baseball League to carry a line of clothing, sweaters, and more. It is called Flyball. So without any further delay, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching the show for 3 years, you've seen this man on my show. As a matter of fact, he came on talking about his Flyball collection a couple years ago. So I'm honored to have him back. We are celebrating Major League Baseball doing the right thing by all the Negro League players, giving them credit and their statistics, official credit for baseball. Unfortunately, welcome Bruce Gage to the show. Full disclosure, those who watch the show, you also know Bruce Gage is one of the official wardrobe consultants and stylists, along with Allie Jones for the Geno Jones show. So many days you see blazers and shirts, leather shirts and more from the Mario Uomo collection. This blazer you see today is part of the Mario Uomo collection. Brother Bruce Gage, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
No, but thanks for coming back.
Hey, I'm a little scared.
Why? What scared?
I'm trying to figure out what is Major League Baseball up to.
Really? Well, elaborate on that. Tell me your thought process. Tell me why you're scared, and why do you think that there's some kind of hidden agenda?
I don't know. I think you know how they do. You know how white people do. They always got a bottom line. So it's still it's hitting me. It's still hitting me. I haven't fully digested this thing to figure out where it's gonna go. Okay, but hey, 100 years later, I guess better late than never.
Yeah.
We'll see. What that means for the players. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little leery. I got one eye on them, one eye open
Listen,
and one eye
I'm not mad
closed.
at you because it took so long, unfortunately, literally 100 years. Because the Negro Leagues was formed in 1920, from, like I said earlier in the show, from 1920 to 1948. And let's just, because, listen, on this show, it's tell the truth, shame the devil. We're going to give you the real, the story that the regular media won't tell you. And Bruce, you and I talked about it off camera. But one of the main reason that Major League Baseball finally integrated Major League Baseball and finally allowed African Americans and the Afro-Latino brothers from Cuba and the Dominican to play in Major League Baseball. It wasn't because they had some kind of come to Jesus and, it was some moral high ground, hit them upside the head, and they said, you know what? We've been doing these Negroes wrong for all these decades. We should do the right thing. And no shade to Branch Rickey, who was the owner of the Dodgers at the time. From what I've heard, he was a decent man. But the owners collectively of Major League Baseball, because remember, all the teams didn't integrate at the same time. As a matter of fact, some of the teams, I think either the Yankees, maybe the Red Sox, they were the last to integrate like in the early 60s. But
I think it was the Red Sox.
Yep. So I'll let you. The main reason that they did it was not about morality; it was about money.
Right,
Speak
because
to that.
because at that time, black baseball was outselling white baseball.
Yes, it was.
So Branch Rickey, he was smart enough to figure if I bring in some black players, that the black people would come to the stadium to watch these black players.
And
And
they did. Mm-hmm.
the band of minorities of people of color in baseball go back to the 1800s.
Yes.
A little after slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a very long period.
At the beginning of baseball, because baseball first
Yeah.
started like in the late 1890s, and then
Right after
Major
slavery.
League, yep.
When was slavery? 1865.
Ended
Slavery
in
was
1865. But I think
yeah,
the first,
that's when it started.
yep, and I think
And
the
everybody
first
played
official
together.
professional like baseball league was in the late 1890s,
Yeah.
right around the turn of the century, and then you had the modern era. So yeah, so it was from the time, if you Google when Major League Baseball officially started, from that time in the 1800s, late 1800s, all the way up to 1947.
Yeah.
It took baseball that time to finally integrate.
Yep. So your audience, they could Google.
Yeah, I think we lost your audio. There you go.
Moses Walker, Fleetwood Walker. He was the last black player in Major League Baseball, and I was in the 1870, 1872 or whatever. He was the last one.
So
Moses.
it's funny you mentioned that, Bruce. Let me ask you. I don't know if you saw a documentary, and I can't think of this guy's name, but I saw a documentary to where during this period, I think it was in the late 20s, there was actually one black player in the major leagues, but he was passing for white.
Yeah, he was passing for white.
Yeah, I can't.
Cool.
Can you remember his name? I'm sure.
No, I can't call his name.
But you saw the story of the documentary. I saw that. Yeah.
Yep.
I think they even did a movie about this guy, that he was, because he looked white, he was passing for white, and they didn't know that he was black. Now let's go all the way down this rabbit hole. There's, and you can Google this. You can check some historians, especially some African American historians, because the secret about Major League Baseball is that Babe Ruth was biracial.
Yep, I know that. That's why I was getting ready to share that with you.
Mm-hmm.
The jury's still out on him.
Yep.
His stature, and
he had the lips. He definitely had the lips.
and he kind of hung around black people.
Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, to his credit, he barnstormed with the Negro League.
Yeah.
At the height of his popularity, and split the gate with him. I learned that today. They went around and sold out 50, 60,000 seat baseball stadiums in Chicago. We grew up, growing up in Chicago. You still there? The old Comiskey Park. My grandfather used to tell me the stories. Like every summer, they would sell out a whole weekend, 55, almost 60,000 people every game for the Negro Leagues, when they had the Negro League All-Star games there.
So I got a name for you. Since Major League Baseball is honoring the Negro League records, right? So that means a guy like Vic Harris, who was the manager of the Homestead Grays, is an all-time winning manager in Major League Baseball.
And then the Grays, I did a little research. Help me out with this. I think they won. Did they win 4 straight championships, or a total of 4?
He won a total of 547 games. He lost 278. He won 7 pennants.
That's what it was.
And
I think they won 4 straight.
He won 1 World Series.
Okay.
One World Series.
Okay. And I think they won 4 straight pennants, the Homestead Grays, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh. I used to do radio there.
Yep.
And I didn't realize Josh Gibson, who we were talking about, who many say was the greatest hitter ever, even more so than Barry Bonds or Babe Ruth. He's a Pittsburgh native. They had 3, it's amazing. They had 3 Negro League teams in Pittsburgh. They had
the Crawfords played there, Homestead Grays.
And there was another team.
I can't think of the third one, but the Homestead Grays played some of their games in Washington, D.C. too.
Okay. And now I remember the last time you came on. I want you to share this with the viewers. Speaking of Pittsburgh, and it was, correct me if I'm wrong, it might have been the Homestead Grays. They had a black owner, but there was a co-owner, and the co-owner's family still has a connection to a pro football team, specifically the Pittsburgh Steelers. About the Reebie family. I remember you share, if you don't mind, share that story with the viewers.
That would be Gus Greenleaf was a bootlegger and a black gangster.
Wait, what's his name again? Give us the guy's name again.
But you just made me forget.
Mr. Greenleaf.
Greenleaf, yeah, Gus
okay.
Greenleaf, yeah. So after Rube Foster passed in Chicago, he kept the league going.
Now let everybody know who is Rube Foster. Let's give him a little history lesson.
Rube Foster started the Negro Baseball League in Bronzeville in 1920.
Really, in Chicago? Really?
Yeah, he lived on 32nd and Vernon.
Wow.
And he and Jack Johnson, the boxer, were best friends. And when Jack got in trouble for taking white women across the state line, Rube Foster snuck him out the United States as one of his ball players.
Wow.
Every time I tell the story, because Rube Foster only got to see 10 years of the league, and mysteriously he died in Indianapolis in 1930. So I don't know if they had it out for him for what he did to help Jack Johnson, but it's never really been confirmed as to how Rube Foster died. So after that, 1930, that's when Gus Greenleaf kept the league going along with Art Rooney. And Gus ended up going to jail because he was a black man bootlegging and number running, and Art Rooney did not because he was white. And Art took his money and started Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow. And of course, you know, back in that day, you couldn't be a black man bootlegger now. If you were like the Kennedy patriarch, you know, John and Robert F. Kennedy, that's the Kennedy family. That's how they basically laundered their wealth and their millions. The Kennedy, the Papa Kennedy was a bootlegger.
Right. That was correct. Yep.
So here we are, Major League Baseball finally doing the right thing. Now, we talked about, I didn't get a chance to do a full research. I know Willie Mays, still alive, 93, turned 93, I think May 10th. He's a Taurus like me. His birthday, I think, is about 10 days before mine. And I know you mentioned there was one gentleman, you remembered his name, you mentioned it earlier off camera. There's 100 now, but it's not too many. Do you have any idea how many Negro played in the Negro League are still alive?
That I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I saw a quote from Josh Gibson's grandson, and he was really happy and proud, and he was saying this is way overdue. And the biggest crime is that people like Josh Gibson, Buck O'Neil, who I know you had the honor to meet, didn't you?
I didn't meet Buck O'Neil, but I know a lot of his history. He was first black manager and scout for the Cubs.
Chicago Cubs, yes.
Ernie Banks.
Who
and Billy
another one, right before the Negro League ended, just kind of piggyback, Ernie Banks played in the Negro Leagues, the Negro American League, because the Negro National League folded in '47, but the Negro American League stuck around for a couple years, but Major League Baseball drained all the good players. You shared this story when you were on before. There's another interesting history because Hank Aaron, like Willie Mays played for Birmingham, the Barons, I believe. Hank Aaron played for the Indianapolis Clowns.
Right.
When Hank Aaron left the Negro Leagues and went to play for the Milwaukee Braves, you have an interesting story about who replaced Hank Aaron.
Tony Stone, one of 3 black females that played in the Negro Baseball League. So the Clowns they were owned by Abe Sepstein, who owned the Harlem Globetrotters.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's why they got the name the Indianapolis Clowns. I would have never
Yeah,
put
because
two
they
and
were
two
they yeah
together.
they right they were basically kind of entertain the crowd before the game started, and eventually the I forget the one famous Harlem Globetrotter, one of the real famous ones.
Was it Metal
He
Lark
going
or
before
Curly
him,
Neal
before him,
before them?
even
Yeah.
before them. And he was famous for a big glove on baseball field, and he ended up playing for the early beginning Globetrotters. His name will come to me.
Okay. So why don't you
Yeah.
share the connection, your connection with the Negro Leagues, and how this relationship came to be, and then tell us some more
Oh,
about the sweaters and just the whole fly ball collection and where everybody can order it. Because you see he's a model too. I should have mentioned Mr. Gage is also a model, and you see he is modeling some of the items from his fly ball collection. So tell us the whole origin story, how it all came to be.
well, I was at Thanksgiving dinner, and I had mentioned to a relative that I was going to relaunch Flyball because I had launched it in 90, like 92, 93, and it was all jackets, 5 teams, the
Mm-hmm.
Grays, Chicago, Baltimore, New York, and Chicago. So this time around, I was going to relaunch it as a sweater. So he said, well, do you have a license? I said, no, I don't. He said, well, do you want a license? I said, yeah. He said, well, my buddy is president of the museum. So
Wow.
that's how it came about. Mr. Bob Kendricks, who is a fantastic person, human being. And I'm gonna have to give him a call to see what is the backstory behind this license agreement with Major League Baseball, taking these records and combining them. I
Yes.
know he's gonna give me the real story.
Yes. So
Yeah.
now I see
So
why
I'll
you
let you
said.
know.
Let me say this. I see why you said it at the beginning of the show. You smell something fishy.
Yeah, yes, I do. I do.
But I hope
So
that I just hope that I heard that Rob Manfred, now the public statement that Major League Baseball released, that they have been doing this deep research for the last 3 years. Supposedly
I,
the
I
initiative.
heard even longer. I heard it's been even longer.
Right. So it's funny how the official company line that Major League Baseball released in a statement to the media said that they had been, this has been like heavily researched for 3 years, and according to Major League Baseball, the catalyst was the unrest and the just the whole uh, civil rights movement surrounding the murder of George Floyd, and the
And,
racial
it was,
the racial
it was,
reckoning, which didn't last
it was,
long. We knew that.
no, it was before that. And what took it was a long process because, most of the players had a nickname.
That's
So they
true.
had to figure out their real name, okay, and find their statistics. And that was like finding a needle in a haystack. The probably the Chicago Defender would always put in the Negro League scores in a newspaper and they box scores. So I'm willing to bet probably a lot of the research went through the Chicago Defender. I
As a
had to
matter of
ask
fact, let
my
me say
Edie.
this, Bruce, because I didn't know that. I didn't think about it. Growing up in Chicago, but living in Pittsburgh, and then knowing about New York City, all those cities that had a pro team, a Negro League team, they had black newspapers that were very prominent. The Chicago
Mhm.
Defender, you had the
Courier,
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh Courier, right?
yeah, Pittsburgh Courier, Amsterdam
Uh,
News in New York City. So you had these black. So I'd imagine that was probably a lot of it. They had to go back in their archives and kind of just look at all the box scores from all those years, from like the Chicago Defender and the Pittsburgh Courier and the Amsterdam News and all the other black newspapers around the country. to get those
So
stats.
you
I'm just
can
guessing.
imagine. You can imagine. So you know, it took more than 3 years if they had to do all of that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can
So
imagine.
I don't know.
So, so tell us some more. So that's how the line kind of that's the origin story. So kind of tell
Yep.
us where it is now and where you're going with it, and let everybody know you're modeling sweater, beautiful sweater. You got the cap, but you got some more items. Do you still have the jackets? I know you got ties, t-shirts, even dresses for women.
Yeah.
So talk about
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. So check out the website, Flyball the Store, flyballthestore.com, flyballthestore.com. And we have designed lots of different categories. Excuse me, like you said, dresses, uh, shirts. If we had a little more time, I could show you the shirts. I mean, they are incredible
Well, hold on.
ombre shirts
Let me
with
just say this. Let
big
me stop you.
images on the back.
Well, let me just say
Yeah,
this. Listen, this is my show and my media company, and you are real family, for real, for real. So unless you got to go, you got time to you can step off camera and grab one of the shirts. If you want to bring one on camera, feel free to go ahead, because
yeah.
I want to promote this. It's really
Let's do
important.
that.
Do you
Let me
have,
let me bring one.
yeah, do you
Yeah,
have any of
let me
the
go get
jackets?
one.
Are you still doing the jackets too?
Sweaters,
Sweaters? Okay.
not so much. Did more the sweaters, and I lost I lost my sweater manufacturer, so I've been sourcing a new sweater factory. So
Okay.
I think I got one. So in the next couple seasons, I will relaunch the sweaters again.
So now we talking about the
But
sweaters that kind of look like the varsity jackets back in. Is that what we're talking about?
exactly,
Because you got on a
exactly.
sweater now, looks like is that considered a sweater or shirt?
This is a shirt,
Okay.
which is to have a feel of a jersey.
Okay. Oh yes, it has that look.
It,
Yes.
it has a feel of a jersey because everybody has jerseys, and so I mean the sky is the limit with this Negro League baseball, and I mean that's why I love it because there's so many ways to skin this cat.
So let's put this out there in the universe, Bruce. I know you said you're looking for with some other designers, those who specialize in doing the sweaters like that to work with.
Manufacturer.
Manufacturers. I'm sure there's some
Yeah.
African. And listen, uh, look, I'm not speaking for Bruce, and I'm sure he's open to anybody, but I'm sure there's some talented African American brothers and sisters, manufacturers that might be able to just looking for an opportunity to do something like
But
this.
hey,
So if
if
y'all know any brothers and sisters
if they are,
that's got a manufacturing company, have them reach out to Mr. Bruce Gage at Flyball. He'll give you all his contact. Go ahead, Bruce. I'm gonna just fill some time. Go grab some of the shirts or some of the
okay,
stuff off
let me go.
camera.
I'm gonna get the shirt. I'm gonna get the shirt.
Do you have any of the dresses? Grab one of the dresses and the ties while you're at it. So
Okay.
I'm really excited. As a matter of fact, the sweaters that he was talking about, they were really cool because they looked like, if you went to high school, the varsity leather jackets or sweaters or jackets. He had those, and they were really. And I got to get one. And I always wanted to get one, and I just either the time was wrong or the money was wrong, but they were beautiful, and I am definitely going to get one. And all the major league, the Negro League teams, Chicago Americans, the New York. I didn't even know they had like the New York Black Yankees. They had a team in Cuba. And he had all these sweaters slash like varsity style jacket sweaters, really beautiful. And then he's got the shirts like you see, t-shirts. He's got ties, and then a couple of years ago he came out with these really really nice looking dresses for women. That's got the Flyball logo that you see in the back right there. So he's gonna bring some of those on with him, and you can Flyball the store. I do know the website. If you Google I think it's flyballthestore.com. But if you Google Fly Ball, the store, Fly Ball, Negro League baseball attire, apparel. You can pull it all up.
So
Bruce, the
here,
website for Fly Ball is it flyballthestore.com?
that is correct.
Okay, just want to make sure.
So here's one of the shirts.
And that's that for those. Now, who's the player on the back?
So it's solid front and
Who's the player on the
that's
back?
Tony Stone from
What's
the
his name?
Indianapolis Clowns.
What's his name again?
Tony Stone. Tony, this is
Oh,
late.
that's her. Oh,
Tony,
wow.
this is Tony Stone. This
Oh,
is
that's
the lady.
her. That's the woman that replaced Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. This is the first time I saw that. I love it.
And here is Cool Papa Bell.
Wow. Now tell people a little bit about Cool Papa Bell. He was also a Negro League legend.
Cool Papa Bell is known for being one of the fastest players ever to play in the Negro Baseball League.
Right. So before
And the
Deion
rumor
Sanders
has
and Bo Jackson, it was Cool Papa Bell.
Yeah, they say he could get in the bed before the light went off.
I remember hearing that.
And I'm gonna show you the dress.
Yes, please do. Show the dress. So, and those shirts. And if you got some of the ties, show us the ties too. Because I know you got some really nice looking ties.
Can you see?
Yes.
Can you see the
Perfect.
dress?
Yes. And then let them see the back.
So the back just has the Fly Ball logo real settled.
Yes. And then
But-
at the
but
bottom
most
of the
of-
dress,
but
let them
most
see, hold it
important-
up. Because you got, yes, right
This
there.
is-
There you go. Yes.
This is an actual crowd watching the Negro League game about 1942 in Pittsburgh Crawford Stadium.
Wow.
And I'm show you one of the sweaters.
So, how many colors you had the dress in? Blue? Did you have it in red and cream?
No, it was navy, red, and black.
Okay. Yes, I remember now.
And show you one of the
And
sweaters.
for those who are wondering, so Bruce Gage has a showroom in Chicago, and so he'll give you all the information. If you like to, you can make an appointment. So he does by appointment only, make an appointment along with the Fly Ball collection, the Mario Uomo collection. So if you like this blazer that you see.
Here is the one of the sweaters.
Yes,
the black
there you
Yankee.
go. Is that the,
And
the Black Yankees?
each sweater.
So New
Yes,
York,
the
they had the
Black
Black
Yankees.
Yankees and the Giants, didn't they? They have a Giants.
I can't remember. They had a few New York teams. I'll show you one.
Which one is
cap.
that? Is that the Black Yankees? Yep, the Black.
Yeah, it's the
I
New
didn't
York
even know there
Black
was a
Yankees.
Black Yankees until I saw that sweater.
Yep, Mr. Bojangles, he owned the Black Yankees.
Really?
The dancer.
Wow.
And that's what happened back then. A lot of the black entertainers owned Negro League teams.
I did not know that, Bruce.
So there's the official museum patch.
There you go.
And each sweater has the history of that particular team.
I love it. That is amazing,
Okay.
man. Man, I'm so
And-
excited. I'm really glad that this happened. Now I know you don't have it. You have one of the Chicago teams. Do you have one of those still in there?
All sold out. I don't
figured
have
that.
a
Damn it! I
Chicago
waited.
left.
Till you got to find
Right.
another manufacturer because I
Right.
got to get one of those sweaters. Now,
I
what team
can
is that?
show you the Cuban. This is the Cuban X Giant.
Yes, because you had a sweater
This is the
of the
team,
Cuban
Minnie-
X Giants. I didn't even know
Minnie
they had a
Minoso.
Cuban team in the Negro League.
Manny Minoso.
Yes,
Manny
Minnie
Minoso.
Minoso, who played with the
played for the
Chicago White
Cuban
Sox.
X.
That's right. Wow. Well, did they
And
play
he
in
was-
Havana? Do you know?
They played in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they played in New York.
Wow.
That's why I say New York had lots of teams.
Wow.
You know.
That
Yep.
is amazing, man. I
And
really,
you know, Manny Minoso was the first Latin player on the White Sox. Black
Yes.
Latin player.
You're right. Sure was. Yep. Our parents and grandparents were big fans. Y'all could see my grandmother, my grandfather. They loved him some Minnie Minoso. They was all they talked about was Minnie Minoso. So it's really exciting. So
Man,
listen-
I had a chance to meet his daughter.
oh really? Okay.
not too long ago. I met his daughter.
Does she
Yeah.
still live in Chicago?
Yep. She's in the Chicago area.
Wow,
She
amazing.
do.
I listen. I am so happy.
Yep.
I'm happy that Major League Baseball did the right thing. You know, there's a saying that it's never too late to do the right thing, and there's still so much that Major League Baseball gets wrong in terms of not investing, really investing in these black neighborhoods, especially the poor, the underdeveloped neighborhoods, South Side and West Side of Chicago, and Bronx and Brooklyn and Atlanta.
Let me uh, uh, let me stop you right there. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is at the high school and the college level. Because you got a lot of black, great uh, uh, baseball. What do they call it when you're not a pro? What's the term when you're not a
Amateurs or
pro?
prospects
What's the term when you're not pro?
or amateurs.
Amateur,
Yeah.
amateur.
Or prospects.
There's a
like,
lot of
kids
black
that are really good in high
amateur
school.
kids out here playing college, and they not getting a shot. They're not getting a fair shot. You almost got to twist a coach's arm for black players to play in white schools.
Well, it's funny.
That's where the problem is.
Well, that's one of the
And
problems.
I'm putting that out there.
Well, no, as a matter of fact, I'm going to piggyback with you. I'm going to put it all out there because you're right. That is one of the problems. Ironically, one of my nephews, Jeshua Jones, he plays baseball. He's a real good baseball player. He's going to a community college. But one of the other problems is that now, like back in the day when I was a kid, man, we just got a bunch of guys that lived on my block and the next block, or maybe a 3-block radius, and the best players, we form our own team. And then we would go from neighborhood to neighborhood, and we would play, you had different parks in Chicago, like Ogden Park, or we called a vacant lot. And we literally played in a vacant lot, glass field, but we would organize a team. As a matter of fact, there was a Mr. Washington. Shout out to Mr. Washington. I can't remember his first name. He played in the Negro Leagues. I can't remember what team, but he played in the Negro Leagues, and he used to come out with us. Him and my grandfather were best friends. I don't know. My mother's watching. I'm going to ask her if she can remember what Mr. Washington's first name, because Mr. Washington and my grandfather used to always go to baseball games together, and they would take me. Sometimes my grandfather would take literally the whole team. There were a couple of times my grandfather would have like 10 or 11 kids. I think one year he took like 15 kids that we all played on the same baseball team. On the L, he would put them on the L and ride all the way up to Wrigley Field on the north side, or we would get on that racing bus number 44 and get off at 35th Street and take the 35th Street bus. So you got this little old man with all these kids, 10, 11, 12 years old, going to a baseball game. So it was remarkable. But now you have these travel teams. If you living in the hood, these kids and their parents, they can't afford travel teams, and you got to have gloves, and gloves are expensive now, and bats and spikes. And the third thing I want to address, for decades, Major League Baseball, they have invested millions of dollars, Bruce, and I know you know this, in Latin America, especially in the Dominican Republic.
And in Ghana, too.
Well, see, I didn't know that.
In Ghana, too.
If they took they got enough money, they could still build those baseball academies that they've been building in the Dominican Republic and Latin America for years. And they could, because they got this RBI program, but no, if they really, really wanted to make sure that African-American kids, because they're missing out on talent, they probably missed out on the next Josh Gibson or Willie Mays or Hank Aaron or Barry Bonds, because now they're playing basketball, they're probably playing quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, his dad played in the major league. Patrick Mahomes Sr.
He played for the Cubs.
Right, he was a pitcher. Patrick was a pitcher and had a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in high school. So Patrick Mahomes, who knows, could have been like the next Bob Gibson or Satchel Paige. But a lot of the best athletes used to play baseball. Now they're playing basketball, football, soccer's trying to
They ain't getting
recruit.
no shot.
Yep.
They ain't getting a fair shot.
So Major League
They
Baseball's
ain't
got to
getting a
do a
fair
better
shot.
job.
I got five.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
finish
I
your
got
thought.
5 kids right now that's in college. I got 5 kids, at least 5 or 6 in college right now that are pro prospects,
Yep.
and they not getting a look
I got a
from the
nephew.
major league.
I got a nephew that's one,
Huh.
Jeshua, right now in
See?
Chicago, on the
Yep.
south side.
See?
I forgot the community college that he's going to. So if Major League Baseball wanted to, they would invest millions of dollars, and they got all these big sponsors, partnerships. Bruce, they could go in with. Even if they didn't want to do like the beer companies, the Pepsis and all these major sponsors that Major League Baseball could partner up with, all these corporations that have partnerships and sponsorship deals with Major League Baseball, they could build real academies and start when kids are
Well,
7, 8, 9 years old and really create affordable little league programs and not have to
well,
worry about
Geno,
this whole travel deal.
let me tell you what Flyball is proposing. I'm proposing to do a strike 'em out tournament.
I love it.
Alderman Bill, I don't know if you know Alderman Bill.
Yes.
He out in the wild hundreds.
In Chicago,
He's
yes.
put up a facility. It's got to be about 30,000 square foot. You can have indoor baseball. Okay.
Healy.
He's got the baseball, soccer, and basketball indoors. And this is where I would like to hold a strike 'em out tournament because he's got the concrete walls to put the box on. And it's got turf, indoor turf.
And for those who don't know what strikeout is, it's a game that we definitely played in the African American community back in the day. Because a lot of times, we couldn't find enough dudes to form a team. So strikeout, it would be Bruce is the batter. You would have to be the hitter and the pitcher. Sometimes it may be two people, one person playing the field and one person that could pitch. And we would draw literally like a box.
Hey, I was at the White Sox game before the gates open on last past Saturday, and I met some white guys who used to play strike 'em out.
Really? I
From
didn't know
from the
that.
south side. They played too.
Wow. So there you
Yep.
go. And it was, if you lived in the area like on my block, there was it was a tent factory. They built tents.
Yep.
And they had a wall. And it was cool because I could always jump over to kind of get my glove over the wall like Willie Mays and rob somebody of a home run. But actually,
Yep.
next to the tent factory was a big church, a storefront church. But it was pretty high. It was probably like 3 stories high. And we used the side of that church because the side of it was facing my street and the front of it faced the major cross street. And we drew like a box.
Box.
And,
Yep.
and that box was the strike zone. And you
Yep.
would just pitch until you got somebody out, struck him out or got him to pop out or whatever, 3 outs, and then
But
you
you
went
know-
up and batted until
You
you
know-
got 3
that-
outs, and then you would go back and pitch. That's a great idea.
And you know what it did for us? It taught us hand and eye back coordination.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
when I did get to play organized baseball, I was a good hitter.
Me too. Because
I
growing
was
up
a good
playing
hitter.
strikeout from the time
Yeah.
when you're like
Yep.
9, 10 years old.
Yep.
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 Yep. Taught you how to hit.
So Major League
Wow.
Baseball, they could do so much. But listen, baseball. I only say this, Bruce and I, because we passionately love baseball. I mean, baseball was my first love. I had a chance to play pro football, but Mr. Washington he had connections in the minor league, and he was going to refer me to one of his minor league scouts.
Okay.
And he had a connection in Southern California, and he was going
Okay.
to, kind of recruit me. But I think he got older, and we kind of lost contact because my senior year in high school, I moved, and then I kind of stopped playing. So I think because my grandfather passed in '81, so I didn't see Mr. Washington anymore because I know my grandfather had, I think, passed before Mr. Washington. I got it. My mom was watching, but he was definitely because he would play catch with a group of us. He called it pepper ball. We would play catch, and he would like throw it hard, but that helped your hand-eye coordination. And he would get out there and play around with us and help us work on our fielding. I always played center field. So Major League Baseball, we're not critiquing you. It's constructive criticism because we love the game. Bruce loves the game. I love the game, and we really know that you're missing out on some incredible talent, and you're losing them to football and basketball. But there's such a Black Americans in baseball, there's such a rich history and legacy. And we haven't even talked about Bruce, but being an entrepreneur and a businessman, you might want to talk about that. The ingenuity. Now think about the time that black men were doing this. When you had Jim Crow laws and black people were being lynched, but you still had these black men who were entrepreneurs who were, because Major League Baseball said, Kennesaw Mountain Landis said no N-word would ever play in the major leagues. So they said, bet, we'll form our own league. And to do that in the 1920s and 30s, just speak to what that should teach us. We come from a rich legacy of entrepreneurs. And like you said, the main reason that Major League Baseball integrated baseball wasn't because they had some kind of moral epiphany. It was because the Negro leagues was outdrawn and making more money than the major leagues.
Outselling them. And the reason Rube Foster started it 1920, he was a great pitcher. He is from Galveston, Texas. And he was a major league quality pitcher. He would get invites from the White League to come and pitch, on a short-term basis. And he knew that he would never be a full-time major league player, and that's why he started the Negro Baseball League.
Wow.
1920. And the first year he had, lots of paid gate attendants, and he would make the schedule. He would pay the players. He was the GM. He was everything. He was the Negro Baseball League.
Wow, amazing. This is a great history lesson. So everybody, you saw that you didn't have any ties with you, did you? All your ties sold out?
Let me get a tag because it's got Josh Gibson on.
Oh yes, yeah, that's the one I love. I got to get that one. We were just talking about Josh Gibson, arguably the greatest hitter in the history of baseball. Period. Full stop. Today, Major League Baseball agreed and announced that they are now going to include the statistics from the Negro leagues as official statistics for Major League Baseball, which is they're only about 100 years late, a century late with it. But there you go. The man you see right there, that's Josh Gibson. Many say the greatest hitter ever. The legend is that he hit nearly 800 home runs. So that is the story. So Bruce, thank you, my friend. Again, let everybody know where they can order the fly ball gear. To all the manufacturers, we got to bring these sweaters back because I got to get a couple of them. I got to get the Chicago ones, the Chicago, because they had the Chicago Americans. Did they have more than one team in Chicago?
It was the American Giants.
Okay, the Chicago American Giants. That's what it was. So
it was just one team, but they had maybe 6 different uniforms.
Okay, that's what it was. So I definitely got to get one of those jackets. But you still got that black Yankees. I'm at the cop that black Yankees.
Yeah, I got the black Yankees.
So let everybody know if they want to if they like to make a purchase or
I'm
learn more about fly ball, let them know where they can go. Or if you're going to be traveling to Chicago, tourists, summertime, a lot of tourists come to Chicago. Bruce can schedule an appointment. He has a loft where his Mario Romo collection and fly ball. So he sees customers, clients by appointment. So if you'd like to make an appointment, Bruce, give everybody the information where they can
I'm
come and
going to
visit the
give
showroom.
you, it's flyballthestore.com, flyballthestore.com. And I'm going to give you my email is mdmuomo@gmail. That's M like mother, D like dad, M like mother, U as in up, O as in Oscar, M as in money, O as in orange, at gmail.com.
So get you one of the, you see the like the jersey, the shirt there. Get you one of the shirts. Get you the cap. Get you the Josh Gibson tie. I don't know how many of the sweaters Bruce has left. Get you one of the sweaters. Get your woman one of the dresses or a couple of the dresses, and get a chance. So the Negro League, like Hall of Fame, the museum I should say, is in Kansas City. I'm sure if they go to that museum, they can purchase some of the fly ball collection.
Yeah, they do have the sweaters.
Oh, they do there. Okay.
Yeah, they have the sweaters.
So you could
Or
actually
they
go
did
online and
have.
order the sweaters from the the Negro League Hall of Fame. I mean, museum.
I'm not sure if they online, but I know they have them in the gift shop.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good deal.
But you can go online and get them from me.
Okay, there you go. Make it easy. Just get them from Bruce. He got y'all, all right? He can get you hooked up. And if you're traveling to Chicago, if you like to visit the showroom and schedule an appointment, you saw all the fly ball gear. You see the Mario Romo gear that you see me rocking like this blazer. You can set all of that, make an appointment with Bruce Gage. Bruce, thank you, man.
Shoot me an email.
Shoot him an email. And he's got you.
UOMO@gmail. Got you.
All right.
Thank you.
Love and respect, family. And I'm excited. I don't know. I know you're a little cynical, but I think all this attention that the Negro baseball leagues are getting now, people are curious.
I'm about to find out.
Bruce said we're about to find out. Hey, listen. That's a drop the mic. I can't even follow up behind that. Bruce said we're about to find out. We definitely gonna find out in a good way. My grandmother said, Jeannie, name it and claim it. We're gonna speak that into existence, my brother. If nothing else, we're gonna definitely promote the hell of it. As a matter of fact, next time I come home, I'm gonna make sure to pick up some fly ball gear, and I'm gonna rock some of the fly ball gear on the show when I'm hosting the show. So I'm, get the shirt and the tie and get one of the sweaters, the whole deal.
You're gonna send me a link. You're gonna send me a link for the show.
Oh, yes. This episode, you got it, man. Well, I'm always tagging your social media, and I text you the link anyway, so ain't nothing changed. I blow up your email anyway, and your damn phone texting you all episodes of the show. So you got this one after the show. This is a great episode, brother. Definitely send this to the Major League Negro League Museum. Let's send it to the Major League because we got some Rob Manfred is the commissioner. Mr. Manfred, we love to sit down and meet with you. We got some great ideas. Do the right thing, and y'all need to partner up with Fly Ball too, and get with Mr. Gage right here. So we're gonna make some stuff happen, B.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
All right.
That's my man, Bruce Gage, everybody. I gotta click on this button here. Thanks for coming on, Bruce. I appreciate you. So there you go. Thanks for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You and especially you, most of all, God, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday. My normal start days and times, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, where Mr. Bruce Gage is with the showroom for the Fly Ball collection and the Mario Romo collection out on the West Coast. 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Watch me live. And if not, binge watch all my back episodes. Just go to the Geno Jones channel right here on YouTube. That's how you spell it. Subscribe. Tell everybody. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, CEO of Designer Cuts. here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him and his cuts, because he's the official barber and keep the hair right, hairstylist. It's Kelby Cutting Up on Instagram, on IG, KELBECUTTINUP, Kelby Cutting Up on IG. Allie Jones and Bruce Gage, the official wardrobe consultants and stylists for the Geno Jones Show. This is part of the jacket. It's from the Mario Uomo collection. So you can check him out. Miglio di Mario Uomo, MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO. That's MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO. It's an Italian name. And Allie Jones, check out Allie Jones and the Lexi Jones collection. Our collection is fire. The drip is spectacular. All right, for those who drip, for the kids, that's fashion, the style, the gear, the drip. Check the Lexi Jones collection out at lx.ncl underscores that little dash behind that second L at the bottom and behind the last L. lx.ncl underscore on Instagram, on IG. Check it out. The Geno Jones Show is always brought to you by CM, like Mary, CM Transportation, LLC.net. That's how you can contact CM Transportation, www.cmtransportationllc.net, where you can give them a call. Shout out to Carissa Carter, the CEO of CM Transportation. If your business needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, give them a call. One of the top transportation companies in America. 843 area code, based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. 843-606-2703. 843-606-2702. If you missed any of this episode, go back and binge watch the whole episode as we talked about the Negro Baseball League and Major League Baseball, recognizing all the statistics from the Negro League and the Fly Ball Collection, which is the officially licensed apparel maker and gear design retailer for the Negro League Baseball. As you saw, all the Negro League gear that you just saw, from the sweaters, the shirts, the ties, the dresses, the caps, the jersey kind of shirt, sweaters, all of that you saw and more. You can check out at flyballthestore.com. I'll see you live Thursday. My next live show is Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Shout out to everybody watching me live. Thank you, Mother, and everybody else watching me live. I love you all. I really do. Love, it is an action word. The dictionary says love is a noun. Love is a verb. And you love by your actions and your behavior. And remember, voting 2024 is a choice. This election is a choice between your freedom and your oppression. Get that through your head. And if you're talking about sitting out and voting, you are giving people who want your demise and your destruction, you are giving them your power. It's like giving your enemy the gun and then loading the gun up with bullets and giving your enemy the gun to shoot you. Don't give away your power. Your vote is your power. And understand, it's not a personality contest. It's not who you like. It's not how they look. It is a choice. You have one, President Biden, and you got Orange Hitler. President Biden represents your freedom and protecting your freedoms and expanding your freedoms. And Orange Hitler is your oppression. He represents your oppression. And they got it in writing. Download, Google, and read Project 2025. I'll see you Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Once again, thanks to my guest, Bruce Gage, the founder of Fly Ball, the store, for coming on, and for the Mario Uomo collection. We'll see you Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Now go back and binge watch this or any other episode you missed.
Dear Dad, it's been 15 years since you left us. A lot has changed, but I think I'd be making you proud. A degree from SC State and USC Law. You would love my wife, Jill, and I represent our community in the State House. But now I'm doing something bigger, running for Senate to continue fighting for our community, creating opportunities and protecting the rights of those who need a voice. Because Dad, that's the world you taught me to believe in.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.